Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to do a full tutorial on how to build your first dashboard as a beginner. So we're going to use a dataset which I'm going to link below so you can follow along and try it out for yourself. At the same time, we are going to keep it really simple. This is for a complete beginner, and we're not going to go into the script editor, but we're just going to use the Qlik associative engine and try to link the tables and create a simple little dashboard. So log into your hub and let's do this. First things first, let's create a new app. So you go here and say new analytics app. Let's name it first dashboard. And this is in my personal space, and let's create it. And here we are. The app is being created in my personal workspace. So we could go to the script editor and start loading data, but so we're going to keep that for another video where we go into script editor and we manipulate and use the data um, in ways that we want it. But this time we're going to keep it really simple. So let's just add the data that we need to create this dashboard. So the really nice thing about Qlik is you can automatically connect into different databases and pull in the data that you want. So if you have data that's actually in Amazon or in Google Analytics or Facebook Analytics, you could just connect it. One really cool thing I saw here was there was Strava somewhere. So if you are a sports enthusiast and you have your data lying in Strava, you could just connect and pull in the data and see visualizations in your own way and not the way that Strava actually shows you. So let's add a file since we don't want to make any connection and we have our um, data on our desktop. Let's go to where the data is located and we have different sheets here having different data, and each sheet, well, you could think of it as different tables. The first table is customers, where you have all the customer information. We're going to use products, which has product information, and then we have orders, which has the order information. So we're going to load these three tables and then link them together so that we have all the data that we want and it's connected to one another. The best way that you should be doing is by using the script editor, because that's where the real power lies. But let's keep it simple for now, and I'm going to show you in another video how we would use the script editor and manipulate the data the way we want it, right? So let's take these three for now, and we click on next. It's going to load all the three tables. So nice, it's loaded. So we have three tables. If you just click on one of them, it's going to show you a preview here. So we have orders, customers, and products. So, and on the right-hand side, you have some recommended association. So Qlik has already realized that you have three tables, and none of them are associated with one another. For example, if you try to do some calculations here for products, and you want information that's actually in this table, there is no connection between the two, so you won't be able to connect the two data, right? So let's and there are two recommendations here. That is, product ID is a field that actually lies in both products table as well as orders table, which means that you could connect these two. And customer ID is a field that actually lies in the customers table as well as the orders table. So you could connect those two, right? So essentially you have a connection between orders and customers. And then you have um, a connection between orders and products, which means all three are connected. And this is where you could really take your data to the next level by making calculations, by pulling in data from different tables, by associated tables. So how would you connect the three? Super simple. So hold on products and it automatically shows you that the orders table has a similar field and can be connected. So all you need to do is drag and drop them. Now you see they're connected here. And if you see below, it shows you that products, the table products and column product ID is connected with the table orders and the product ID, since product ID is common for both. Next, we want to connect customers as well. So let's hold this and it's automatically showing you that customers has a field in orders table which can be connected. So we drag and drop and you see that now we have a nice little connection between all the three tables. So that's pretty good. Now you could do a custom connection. So for example, let's say that now customer ID and customer ID have been written exactly the same, right? So Qlik is smart enough to understand that customer ID here is the same as customer ID in the customers table, and it's automatically making the association. But sometimes you could load data where the column name could be different. Now, for example, if this was customer underscore ID, then Qlik wouldn't really recognize it. So what you could do here is click on this and go to custom association, and there you could connect the two if you knew that these are two connecting fields that Qlik hasn't actually understood. So you could go into the customers table here and connect a single field with, and go into the orders table and connect the two, and those two would be connected. But in this case, since the name of the column is the same, Qlik has automatically recognized it. So that makes our work super simple. So we have connected all three tables. So we're just going to load the data once. Perfect. So we have three tables, zero unassociated table, which means that all three tables are associated with one another, and we can pull in data by using keys to the two other tables. So for example, if I have an order ID, I can know who are the customers or which customer has ordered that, what are the products, product information from the product table, customer information from the customer table, and of course the order information from the orders table. So that's pretty neat. So this completes our data association. Next, we can move on to building the dashboard. Like I said, we're going to do the same thing using script editor, and I'll show you how you could manipulate your data there. And that is really, really cool. But Qlik makes it super easy. If you're a newbie, you don't like looking at code, you don't want to get your hands dirty. You just want to high level load data, connect it, and get on with your visualization, then this is the easiest way to go. So let's go to next, let's start creating a dashboard, right? So let's go to our sheet here. This is an empty sheet. We click on edit and you see all the fields that you have. This little icon here means that Qlik is already connected with open maps. So when you have a country name or a city name, you automatically gets in the geo coordinates for it so that you can plot it on a map. So that's pretty cool. And you can see all the tables here, orders, products, and customers. And let's just start with a very, very simple graph. So we go here to charts. You have master items here, and you have all the different fields here. So let's just go to charts and start with a super basic. So we take a bar chart and let's add dimension. So we have order date, year, month. So let's click on year, month. Let's add a measure here. So let's go to measure, and we want to add a measure called sales. So uh, let's start. Let's check if we have something called sales in all tables. So sales, no, we don't have anything, but we have unit price and we have quantity, right? So which means that we could calculate sales ourselves. So sales is nothing but unit price times quantity, and we put that inside an aggregation. So we want the sum of unit price and quantity for every dimension, and that would give us the sales. And we click on apply, and voila, your first graph is in place. And if you see here on the y-axis, you have sum, unit price into, and you have order, year, month. So you just want to change the labels. So you could go to dimensions here, and under dimensions you have the field, and then you have label. So let's change this one to year, month, hit enter. So now this, and the x-axis, it's changed to year, month. Next, let's go to the measure and let's change it to sales, and click enter, and you see here it's changed to sales. That's great. We can even change the way the number formatting looks like. So let's change it from auto to a number, and it would look like this. So let's leave it in auto. And as you see here, it is sorted in descending order. So the first one is where you have the date with the highest sales for, or year, month with highest sales. So it's 2018, April has the highest sales, and it just keeps going lower. But you don't want it that way because you want to see it in chronological order. So how do you do that? You click on edit sheet. So to get all these functions here, you always have to click on edit sheet. So click on edit sheet, click on the graph that you want to change the parameters for, go to sorting here, and you could move. So what is the first sorting? Here it's sales. And if you see sales, it's sorted automatically, but you want it to be sorted based on year, month, and not based on sales. So we move year, month to the number one position, and now we see this in chronological order. So you can click on OK, and this is what you have. Splendid. So I think this is pretty good. Now let's just give a title. So you could click on edit sheet again, click on the graph, and here you could type sales over time. So you have a title and you have a graph. Perfect. Next, what do we do? Let's add some more graphs, right? So we're already in edit sheet, we're in the editing mode. We go to charts and we pull up, let's pull up a pie chart here. Now we have a pie chart and we want to know country, and we want to put in sales again. So we go unit price times quantity. Now there's an easier way to do this. That is, you could change this particular measure into a master measure, and I'll teach you how to do that later. So we type in a sales, and we have country, and now we have sales based on country, and you can see here that it looks like Germany is the largest, where we have our largest sales are coming from Germany. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So what else could you change here? Could go to appearance, go to general, or the way it's presented and change the type of graph. So you could make it into a donut chart this way, and it would look like this. So that's pretty cool. Next, maybe we want to see what is our cost of goods sold and margins. Let's put some key indicators here. Those are important. So you want to know your KPIs, right? Whenever you have a dashboard, you always want to have your KPIs to look at what is the most important metric for your business. And those should be highlighted on the top so that people don't have to spend a lot of time going into these graphs. Instead, they could just open up the sheet and get the numbers that they're actually looking for. So how do we do that? Let's select a chart here. We have something called the KPI chart. So we put KPI, and what do you want in KPI? Let's use the same measure that we have been using. So that is the sum, that is sales. So sum of unit price times quantity. And we have our total sales. Right? Perfect. Now I want to create our margins and profits. So how do we do that? Let's create another KPI here. So instead of taking a KPI chart and dragging and dropping it here and putting in a different value, what I could do is just click on this, copy and paste, and it pastes the same chart with the same values. So I'm going to do this once, and I'm going to do this again. So now we have 3 KPIs here, and that's pretty good. So let's build the chart this way. Let's try to make each of them equal. I like that we have grids here, so um, you can play around with how your charts look like, how big they should be, how small they should be. So now we have 3 sales, and we don't want that. So we want, let's go into and change this one to COGS. So COGS would be unit cost. So that's our COGS. So that is unit cost times quantity. So let's change the name to COGS. And then we want our margin, and margin is nothing but our sales, which we already have here, minus our COGS, that is unit cost times quantity, right? So this is sales minus cost of goods sold. That should give us our margins. Perfect. So this is our, we changed the name to margin. Oh, looking good so far. We have 3 KPIs. We have 2 graphs which are showing how it looks like. Let's move sales on top because this gives us a better picture. We can have the region graphs a little smaller here. So what are we going to do here? So let's look at which products for our sales. So let's pull in another bar chart here. Or you know what? This will be cool. Let's use a line chart instead. So let's convert into a line chart. Dimension would be our products. So we write product. Measure would be sales again. You see, we're constantly using sales all the time. So we've used sales here, sales in this graph, and we need to type in the formula for sales all the time, which is kind of annoying actually. So let's just go into master items here and create measure called sales. So I've named it sales. It's going to expression, and at least for the final time, thank the Lord. Let's type in perfect. And now we have a measure called sales. So let's create it and let's go to add measures. And if you see here, you have a measure already called sales and it's got the name and everything. So let's put it here. Perfect. But we don't like it this way, right? So let's go to appearance, presentation. You want a vertical graph or a horizontal? So let's make it horizontal. I think horizontal is better. You want a line chart or an area chart? So let's put area, and it looks like it's not sorted out. So we want to sort it out based on products with highest sales. So let's go to sorting here, and product is first. So it's going to be, sorted out based on name. If you can see here, it's alphabetical. Instead, let's make it into based on sales. So we put sales on top. So now we see here. And now what we want to do is change here where we have sales. You want to change it to the measure that you created so that you can make all changes at once. So let's go here. Let's go to delete and just add sales. And it's super simple, right? We just need to change the sorting again. And and you always want to see the latest. So what you could do here is click on the graph, go to appearance, go to presentation, and do you want this mini chart? Yes, because it's nice to look. But the alignment, you want it to be the end, because if it's year month, then you always want it to start at the latest um, month. So if you want, you could also add the values here. um, but I think let's just hide it for now. um, and here we have sales again, so we could delete this and just put sales. So perfect. And we had sales here, right? So let's just change that as well. Right. And now if we go back into our master measure into sales and we change, now everything is linked. So if you want to make changes to the measure called sales, then you only need to do it once. For example, let's say we want to change the color of all that is sold. So you see it automatically updates everywhere, and that's just beautiful. That's what you want, because it's going to save you so much time in the long run. So let's just add one more graph here for fun, just to show you all, and maybe we can add a map. And so here we have map. Let's add a layer, and the field would be city. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And you could change the colors based on the dimension. That is, different cities would have different colors. Now you see different cities are different colors, or we could change it based on measure to say those cities with, and we choose the measure as sales since we already have it. Those cities with higher sales would be darker. We could do that. Now, if you open up and have a look, you see which cities have more sales. So darker the color means that these cities have more sales. Yeah. So, but if I'm honest, cities don't make so much sense here. So let's change this. Let's go back. Let's click on this, go to data, and here we have our dimension as city. So let's delete that and instead add country. Perfect. And then if you go to colors, it's already by sales. So now you see countries by sales. And you can see here that Germany is much darker, right? Um, and that's what we see here as well. And maybe we could, let's change this one to cities instead. So delete and city. Yeah. So now it's a little bit. So the best part is you could use this just, you could cut a graph from here, paste it here, if provided there's space, and move things around easily as you wish. So I think let's cut this one, um, move move the map on top, make it slightly bigger, and have the cities here, and try to do an analysis. So now what we could do is, so we have our location here, cities here, products here, sales here. So what we could do is, so let's say, let's click on USA, and now you have applied USA filter here, right? So all the calculations are only for USA. So you could remove it or go back. So now you have selected everything for USA. So now you're looking at sales in the US. That's 3 million, and you have 801,000 as your margin in the US. And this is the sales over time. The highest selling product is Rasta WCT, and then Patagonia fleece jacket, of course. Um, that's no surprises. And if you see here, it looks like Eugene in the US is the city with the most number of sales, where most of your sales are coming from. That's great. You could look at, if let's say you wanted to look at all of North America. So you click on US and you have Canada as well. So you you can actually go here and select filters. So now I've selected US and Canada, and now we have 4 million sales. It looks like 1 million has come from Canada. Um, and and you do your analysis. So you could close this, and let's just click on Germany to see you have 6 million, almost double the amount of sales in German coming from Germany compared to the US. And what you could do now, so if you click on sheets here, this is our main sheet. So we could rename the sheet by clicking on I and the edit button here into, let's say, let's call this the overview um, here. So now you see that we have an overview sheet, and then we could click on another one. So now we have a new blank sheet, and you could move from one sheet to another. And remember that if you apply a filter, that is by clicking on a country, clicking on a city, clicking on a product, then that filters will be applied across all the sheets. So if you want to do another kind of analysis, that is, let's just select a product. Let's just look at runner shoes and see how this one product fares across different regions. So we knew that runner shoes maximum number of sales is coming from Germany, and how much of this product have we sold in the US and Canada, and sales over time. Or we could also close this and see in the last 2 months. So this is the data is from September 2018, so quite old data. But if we would select um, 2018, you could just click and drag. So I'm selecting all. So 2018, just the data for 2018 looks like we made 6 million sale only in 2018, and our highest selling product is runner shoes. I mean, this is how you do your analysis, and I think that this is the way most of you would use QLIK SENSE. So you build a dashboard and then dig deep into your data to analyze it. This is just part one. I'm going to come out with part two and part three, where we go a little more in depth on how to build more complicated dashboards, more filters, more master measures, and different ways to make things easy and build really, really cool and enticing dashboards that is going to help your team, is going to help your company, and going to help you to be a much better analyst. So this is step one, or part one, I should say. I hope this helped you all a lot. Um, Please stay tuned and write down below if there's something you would like to see, some problems that you have that I could maybe help out with, or what kind of ideas do you have for newer videos that I could do. So have fun. It's super fun to do this, and I hope that you enjoy it. Please like the video, comment below, and subscribe for more. Peace.